everyone. Welcome to this coffee break, and I'm sat here with Joel Virgo at Newday 16. And so in this coffee break, firstly, I just wanted to say, certainly on behalf of all the relational mission churches, and I'm sure I speak for hundreds of other churches, that how much we appreciate, Joel, what you and the team do, serving the young people. It's fantastic. We always have baptisms after the summer. People come to Christ. It's tremendous. So thank you. And for anyone watching who's on the team at Newday, I can hear them in the big top behind us. The team, those who serve, thank you so much for all you do. We, genuinely from the heart, we think it's brilliant. So we appreciate that. A couple of questions. Newday youth coming home to their home churches. If you had some advice for church leaders or youth leaders watching this, how do we build on what God is doing in the lives of young people here?
I think that the place for the good disciple-making youth leader is often underestimated, undervalued. I think it's one of those positions or roles that a team of elders would be very wise to consider, even if you're not thinking of it being a staff role. If you're thinking, well, we're only able to afford so many full-time leaders. I think to find gifting, that's the primary thing. It's the anointing, the call on a usually young guy or girl with an ability to disciple. The reality is that the stuff that goes on in local churches that's good enough for young people to come to on a regular basis can be very effective at attracting a crowd. That's important when you, if that can be a hugely effective model of evangelism and growth and everything, missional. That's good. They will really thrive though on something at the heart that comes before the attractional event, a big youth jamboree. What you need is a team leader who's very committed to proper discipleship amongst the young people. And I think in your churches, the kind of the tone and the content of that discipleship would be something that you're good at and growingly good at. I think the key thing is finding youth leaders who have that DNA right up front. We are going to see lives change through the gospel week by week by week, not just in a big tent in the summer. But we're going to build on it and see that the gospel works itself out through real discipleship, real application of the gospel to the hearts of our young people. And a leader and a team who get that, whether they're staff or not, is a huge priority.
I mean, the thing that occurs to me seeing all these thousands of young people is just what incredible seedbed this is for future influence in society, salt and light, people changing, being big influence in the world, whatever they're called to, but also church planters, future apostles, evangelists. I mean, it's extraordinary. So, what would your advice or comment be to all the different spheres now within New Frontiers? Many of whom the young people come here. I know your heart is to serve the spheres with this event, and we, as I said, we appreciate that so much. But how can we partner well with this? Do you think going into the future?
I think the whole foundation of Newday from when we first did it 12 years ago has remained, and that is that we want to see this as a church planting recruitment camp, if you like. We don't call it that; it's a little boring name for a 12-year-old. But there's no doubt that as a team we've always tried, whether subtly or not, or you don't have to be that subtle, but we've been upfront about our passion for the church building, church planting, and it was born out of the kind of the prophetic word in New Frontiers of years back of 1,000 in the UK, 1,000 churches, and so we thought, church planters, the 1,000th church will be planted by someone who is either not born yet or is very young. And so these are our church planters. So in terms of that being a passion for the event, that's been there from the beginning. Practically in a multi-sphere version of New Frontiers, it requires a sort of really it's a little bit like spheres need to see Newday as a bit like a society would see a university freshers week. That you can come and set up your stall a little bit. And we have to be clever about how we do that in a way that doesn't come across wrong. We want to make it feel like we're brothers and we're in the same family. We're for each other. And so for relational mission as well as other spheres to come and say, can we get our training programs filled up? Can we just raise it here or raise it there? We should just always be dialoguing about how we can best maximize it as an opportunity for recruitment. On top of that, and probably more importantly, from the sort of the platform, from the center stage, as it were, in every sense, we want to keep proclaiming the vision for church planting, and in a sense leaving the details to sphere leaders.
Yes.
I think as long as teenagers get a passion for the church and church planting, the next step, the practical outworking, is left in the hands of the local churches and the apostolic teams that are overseeing them.
Yeah.
So Newday won't do the job of training a load of church leaders for the future in the real sense. It will do a better job of planting a seed of passion for that. So if we just cast the vision and do it strongly, you guys either on site or back in your own churches can just keep reaping the rewards of that. I think that's the best way we can do it.
Well, certainly, and I know I speak for so many of church leaders and other apostles in different. This is a fantastic opportunity. To me, it's like sort of a honeypot. Man, there are men and women here, young men and women here, who really are going to be the future. It's certainly in my thinking, right, how do we strategize for that? And I just want to do this little coffee break just to provoke some thinking really back home. We can't leave this just to some sort of organic thing, although there is a sense of, organic hand of God upon things. But we've got to take responsibility. There is a generation arising right behind us, thousands, and it needs systematic application and apostolic strategy and prophetic revelation to really get hold of what God's doing here and make sure that in the next 30, 40, 50 years there are waves of church planting coming out of this big top behind us. So thanks very much, Joel, for doing this coffee break, and enjoy your coffee.
Brilliant.
Bye.
See you.